Every year, 250,000 race fans will congregate here at the world's most famous or perhaps infamous racing circuit. They're here to see a battle between 230 cars from the smallest groups of amateur teams to the might of factory-based racing efforts. They're just starting to clear the grid now, so it gives us a chance to look at the cars a bit better. Now on pole position, this is the Mante Motors 911 RSR. It's the very latest car. This is the team that's won the race for the last 2 years. We walk up the grid a bit more. Over here is the Land Motorsport car. This particular car has Hans Stuck's son in, Johann Stuck. Third on the grid. Bit of an old friend, this one, won the race in the past. This is a Zaxpeed Viper. It's a mighty old car. Makes an absolute cracking noise. And over here, something very special indeed. Lamborghini Gallardo, but not one of the GT3 spec cars. It's quite a bit angrier than that. Then further up the grid, here's a car we're very excited to see. This is the Aston Martin DB9. This is the DBRS 9, but it's a bit quicker than that. It's a less restricted engine. It's a bigger wing on it. You'd have to say it's a contender. Whether it will have the reliability with the speed to match the very best of the Porsche as well, we'll know in just over 24 hours' time. Walking back further up the grid, another RSR. Really is a weapon of choice. And another one. There's a Z4 there, but obviously not like the Z4 you can buy. Further back up the grid, yet another RSR. This one's a special interest to us because it's been driven by Marino Franchitti and Richard Westbrook as well. Continuing up the grid, now we start to get into the GT3 Cups. So obviously slightly milder car than an RSR, and you can see by the way they're still at the sharp end of the grid that it's a very rapid car around here. Well, we've had all these Porsches, but here's something a little bit different. This is a Gumpert Apollo. It's not just any old Gumpert Apollo, if there's such a thing. It's actually a hybrid Gumpert Apollo. It also has a certain Heinz Harald Frentzen on the driver lineup. Going back from there, we've got the quickest of the 350Zs in the famous Falcon colours. Then we come to something really, really exciting indeed, and something I have been looking forward to seeing so much. Can you guess what this is? How about that? The new Lexus LFA. Of course, here it is in its matte black paint scheme. Look at these exhausts. You've got to hand it to the engineers. It's fantastic that they've turned out. The car looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic as well. More GT3s, broken up by a rather mean-looking 350Z. It's something you don't see very often. That's a Carlson-tuned SLK. And here we go, it's the first of the Aston V8s in the race. And look at this, you've got to have a look at this. When have you seen one of these before? Audi RS4 in a racing form. Look at the front on it. Also, you should hear it as well. It makes the most amazing bellowing noise. But this is one of the great things about this race, the real variety. Look at this, an old 964 RS, still going strong. And here we go. Here's the first of the Scirocco's. In fact, it's all three of the Scirocco's. I can also see from the expressions on the face of the marshals that we need to get out of here quite fast.
So the race gets underway, and there's the immediate shock of the pole-sitting Mante Porsche spewing steam and fluid all over the circuit. Surely it's not all over for the favourite before the end of the first lap. Works Scirocco's head up the next batch of cars that take the start and immediately make good progress. We managed to get good access to the VW team, and earlier we had a closer look at the GT24 racer in the paddock.
This is the new Volkswagen Scirocco. Well, I'd say it's the new Volkswagen Scirocco. The car that you'll be able to buy probably won't have one of those. Probably won't have a wing like that. Certainly won't have a diffuser like that. And I don't think that's going to be in the accessories catalogue. There's something else I want to show you, and it really does demonstrate how serious VW is in this race. How about this for a driver lineup? Rally legend Carlos Sainz, and 3 times winner of this race, racing legend Hans Stuck.
The Scirocco's are already looking strong at this early stage. For the fans around the circuit, the party now is really getting going. We get down to the Hatzenbach section, where many have already set up their tents.
Of course, just bringing a tent is only the start of it. If you're really organised, you will have brought a sofa, and maybe with some handy scaffolding lying around, you'll make your own watchtower.
Aston's DBRS9 looks more than a little useful during these early stages, but an accident resulting in suspension damage is bad news. Meanwhile, the Mante RSR has been fixed and is now flying through the field. As day turns to night, there can be fewer more evocative sights than racing in the dark on the Nordschleife.
Okay, as you can see, the time is now about 10 o'clock at night. One of the Scirocco's has just come in. They're desperately trying to get the offside front headlight working. It seems that they might have succeeded because it's on, and I think we're going to have to get out of the way. So it looks like it's about to go back out into the race. To the pits, here comes the DBRS9, and this doesn't look too good because it looks as if they're going to push it backwards into the garage, which is a great shape. This car has had some really impressive pace so far in this race, but it's also had some bad luck, and it looks like it might be about to have some more. This doesn't look too good.
The big Aston is never the same following its suspension damage and will be in the scenery again before the end of the race. It's a miserable run after so much initial promise.
Well, it's just gone 3 a.m, so just after half distance. Quite a few of the Volkswagen mechanics are enjoying some well-earned rest, and to be honest, we're beginning to feel like we could do with the same. The best placed Scirocco is currently running in 13th, which is remarkable considering the machinery that's running ahead of it. But what's really livened things up is we've just had a quite heavy shower of rain here. It's stopped raining now, as you can see from the surface here. It's very wet. It's probably raining somewhere else on the circuit, as is normally the way here. So there's a lot more action in the pits again. People coming in, obviously changing to wet tyres. Into the pits, here's the Lexus LSI, just to clean of the windscreen. This car's running down 171st place at the moment. Had quite a few problems, but it seems to be running okay at the moment. There we go, hands up, thumbs up.
As dawn breaks, it's clear the nightmare of a wet race hasn't materialised. Time to get back to the pits and catch up with Carlos.
Tell me, how is it going so far? Are you enjoying the race?
Absolutely, it's really a very exciting weekend. We have a nice car to drive, car is working very well. Unfortunately, yesterday we lost a little bit of time with the puncture, but today the rest has been perfect, no problems.
How did you prepare for this race, building up to it?
We did not drive the car before, but we were very lucky that the car is easy to drive, and we were here in the 4-hour race just to know a little bit more the circuit.
Do you think you'll return here and have another go?
I don't know. Probably if I have an opportunity and a good car and a good chance, why not?
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
After 24 gruelling hours, it's the final seconds of the race. So it's a great result for VW. 11th, 15th and 32nd with a class victory.
Well, there's jubilant scenes here behind me in the VW pit, and with good reason. They've annihilated the rest of the comparable opposition, and they've proved quick enough to mix it with the really big cars in this race.
The Lexus has finished 121st, and sadly, the big Aston is classified 150th and last car home.
It's been another amazing race. It's been a fantastic event for Mante Motors. They've scored a 1-2, another victory this year. It's been a crushing win for Porsche with the top 3 places, and of course it's been a great event for Volkswagen. Just look at the epic race grime and dirt on the front of that. That's what you get for 24 hours of gruelling racing. And what a great way to launch a new sport coupe. Who wouldn't bet on seeing those cars here next year? And hopefully we'll be here as well.